We're back at it. Back at it again, guys. Hello and welcome to the beginning of a new season of Climbing the Ladder Challenge. As you can see before you, we have an entirely different theme, a different deck. We have face cam. You can see my face. Everything's going to be great. I'm really excited for what's about to come. I am going to use this episode 0 to kind of talk about the deck that we have. Just like last time, we're going to talk about some of the choices. We're going to go through the deck, and then we're going to hop into episode 1, where we'll just begin the series from our very first match. So, unfortunately, we were unable to finish the first season of our Climbing the Ladder challenge with Cold Wave Monarchs, but we were able to get to our goal of over 700 ELO. And it only took us like 75 matches. So we're gonna hopefully do that again, but faster. You can see on the screen before you that we have the ELO the way it was charted from our previous season 1 here. And so we're going to be able to directly compare how we did last time versus how we're gonna do this time. And so I really just kind of really enjoyed the way that the past season went, and so I thought that the original deck building, like, we can look back and we can say like that deck was very bad. But I like the idea of kind of basing the deck around cards that are either banned or limited in later formats. I think one of the cool things about GOAT is that you get these really powerful cards that become like absolutely cracked later down the line, but are still really good in GOATs, right? And you can use them typically at 3. So I thought about it, what we should do for season 2, and I wanted something fun, and I wanted something funny. So I chose Machine Return. Machine Return. Let's do it. This is the deck, guys. This is it. All right, now we're gonna go through the deck. We're gonna go through the deck, and I will tell you before starting right now that the side deck is, I just completely just threw it together. There was really no like real thoughts given to the side, and so don't necessarily pay attention to the side now. I think that we're just going to begin the challenge, and then we're going to kind of figure out through the course of the challenge what cards we need and what cards we don't need. and so the side is just, it's just there. But here's the deck. Do you guys love it? I bet you love it. There's no way you don't love this deck. On first sight, you fell in love, just like me, right? And so, similar to last season when we've based our deck kind of around Brain Control and Cold Wave, this deck I want to base around Limiter Removal and Return from the Different Dimension. And so the ground rules for the challenge that we will not change is that the deck must contain at least one copy of both those cards. I don't ever see me getting rid of the 3 Limiter removals, though. I think that's just going to be what we're doing. Everyone plays Return from the Different Dimension at 2. It's one of those cards that everyone just agrees that like 2 is the number, and so maybe 3 is the number. I don't know. Maybe it could be. I think you need like a pretty substantial banish engine for that to be the case, and we're not playing Bazoo or anything like that, so maybe not this deck. But I feel kind of weird just putting it at 2 because everyone puts it at 2. But I'm getting way ahead of myself, so let's go through the whole deck and talk about kind of what's going on, because there's a lot of spice here, right? All right, start off, we have 3 Chaos Monsters. You know, to increase our kind of banish engine, we could go up to 4. Chaos Sorcerer is another one of those cards that everyone just plays at 2, and I'm kind of like why? I'm sure there's kind of a statistical reason why, right? That's like you just don't have enough materials to banish, but let's see. So for the darks, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 darks. For the lights, we have DD War related kind of counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wouldn't you know it? 8 lights. 8 and 8. Seems pretty good to me. Though I think 8 and 8 is like approximately where like Chaos Turbo plays. I don't know. They have Thunder Dragon, so things are a little bit iffy. But anyways, and so we have our 3 Chaos monsters. They are the primary vehicle by which we're going to be getting our banish zone set up for return from the different dimension. And so we want to have these live as much as possible. And they're obviously super duper good cards. You can just win games. Any deck, no matter how bad it is, if it plays BLS, you can just win. so there. We're playing Cyberjar. Why isn't Cyberjar a machine? It's obviously mechanical. You can see circuits on it. It looks kind of like a satellite, right? It's totally just like in space. Anyways, it's a rock, and the idea with Cyberjar, of course, when you're playing something like limiter removal, you just want to swarm the field with all your machine boys. And so Cyberjar, I think, is just really good as an enabler. And we're going to talk about some specific synergies with the Union monsters later. We got Breaker, because Breaker can go +1. We want to get in with limiter removal, and so back row removal is important in this deck. Sangan, because Sangan can search out every monster that isn't Breaker, the Chaos Boys, or X Headcannon. So I think it's really good. Cannon Soldier. I am up on Cannon Soldier. I've done a few test games with this deck, like not very many. Like, don't get me wrong, I haven't played that many, but Cannon Soldier's been like really, really good because it can set up the graveyard for a chaos play by sending itself into the graveyard or by sacrificing one of these monsters or both. But more than that, it can come back with return from different dimension, and you can just win because all the monsters are going to get banished from return from the different dimension at the end of the turn. Instead, if you just tribute them to Cannon Soldier, you can do like 2,000 damage a lot of the times, and then they're in the graveyard again to recycle for Chaos Sorcerer and BLS. It's just really good, I think. It's really good. The next card is the it's like the mainstay card. Like, this is the most important monster, I think, in the deck, which is the Koichi. Now, of course, the Koichi's a fantastic card because it is a machine and it can go up to 2,800, which is very strong. But it kind of presents the opponent in this deck with a pretty weird situation, which is that if they attack over it, then we get a draw, which is really good, right? That's why we play the card. But if they knock it, instead, then all 3 go to the banish zone. They lose their Dekoichis. We return from the different dimension. And let me break out my calculator. That's right. Season 2 actually is going to have the calculator on screen so you guys can see. 14, 14, 14, 42 times 2. 84? That's more than 8,000. Wait. Let's confirm. 84 minus 8. Yeah. So Dekoichi's a really good card. Koichi's a really good card because it presents the opponent with a situation where they just like they can't do much about it. They're either going to help us one way or the other. They have very few answers. Blade Knight level 2, kind of all they got. So I think it's a really good card. The next card, though, the next card is near and dear to my heart, and it's objectively bad, but I think I'm going to keep it in the series as long as possible because I love it like I love Gillosaurus, and that is the Orb. It's the Orb, DD Scout Plane. DD Scout Plane's a machine. It doesn't have much attack, but when it gets banished, it returns to the field. That includes when it gets banished off of the effect of return from the different dimension. So it's kind of just like always there. And having a body on field, I feel, is pretty good. This is obviously this card wants some sort of tribute summon. Like what it wants our boy the Jins. It wants blowback. Let's be real. At some point in the series, down the line, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Blowback Dragon and we're going to increase this card to 2. so that we can always just have tribute fodder for blowback. We're just going to do that. We're doing that, right? Jinzo has unfortunate anti-synergy with Return from Different Dimension, and so it's kind of like, it's so good with limiter removal, but yeah, I don't really know. Also, if you like look, you guys can't really see, but like all the cards have names, right? Like you can see Snatch Seal and Combination Attack. Jinzo doesn't have its name. Whatever. All right, okay, we're getting sidetracked. All right, DD Warrior Lady. DD Warrior Lady is really good. Why is she really good? She's on the art for Return from the Different Dimension. Intended combo? Of course it is. Yeah, you banish her and then you bring her back and you banish something else. Everything's good. Yeah, she's a great card. So we're gonna play with her. Then we have the XYZ Boys. XYZ Boys. Okay. So when I was first putting this deck together, I was thinking about what to do in order to increase the light dark count, have machines, and kind of fill out the monsters, right? We need lights. And so I was thinking like a whole bunch of Shining Angels, they can search the Y Dragon Head and Z Metal Tanks. We play more X Head Cannon because X Head Cannon has the most attack points, right? And so you just want a lot of them. But I found this article on goatformat.com that had an interview with a duelist whose name I don't remember, but the article will be in the description of this episode and the next one. A duelist that brought XYZs, I think, to Worlds. To Worlds. And they cooked. They cooked with this sort of strategy. So all right, what you have is you have Y Dragon Head, you have Z Metal Tank, and they actually played 2 X Head Cannon. I'm only playing 1 for now. So you have those monsters. You play the one of Frontline Base. The point of this card is that it is just a free special summon of Y Dragon Head and Z Metal Tank. If you have it, you can special summon like our boy Gillosaurus. It's like a machine. This machine monster is Gillosaurus. It's Gillosaurus. And so I think it's a little bit underpowered, I think, but what we really want to do is have more than one of these Union monsters on the field at once. And there are 2 reasons for that. The first reason is that we're playing 2 combination attack. So what this card does is when the Union monster has attached itself to another, so let's say that we attach Z Metal Tank to Y Dragon Head. Y Dragon Head's attack goes up to 2100, which is a number that people should be aware of, right? Because 2100 is exactly what you need to get over Spy, which is really important because we don't want to get walled out. And so that independently, synergy is really great. But then combination attack, if you attack with Y Dragon Head, you can use combination attack, the 2 monsters unlink, and then you can attack with both of them again, including Y Dragon Head. And so you throw limiter removal in there at some point, either while Y Dragon Head is linked or not linked, and you're putting like a ton of damage. It can come out of nowhere because nobody's going to know this card is even like a thing. Plus, it has a really sweet artwork. Freezing and Burning Beasts. Pretty good. Yeah, and so that's the first kind of synergy with these. The second one is that we have all of these XYZ fusion monsters. And what's cool about them is that you, of course, don't need polymerization, but if they're on the board at the same time, and they can even be set, they don't have to be face up, you can banish them. You can banish them to special one of these guys. Return from the different dimension. It can come back. You can banish them, and they can come back. And so there's a whole bunch of different stuff you can do. Like let's say we do the play. Let's say Y Dragon Head, Z Metal Tank. Z Metal Tank's attached to Y Dragon Head. You attack, you use combination attack, they split, you attack again. You try to use limiter removal and something bad happens, right? But you have these 2 monsters. In the main phase 2, you can banish them to special a big boy. Specifically this boy, which is actually the worst of them. The art's pretty cool, but the effect's pretty bad. But you can special this guy, and then I don't know. There's a lot of flexibility. If you're able to get those monsters out, there's just a lot of flexibility. And so we like Cyberjar here. We like Frontline Base here. I'm only going to play one X-Head Cannon because this can't link with another monster on its own. Like, you need the utility of this other one, where these two, you know what I mean? Though actually, now that I'm thinking about it, huh? I mean, they all need two, don't they? And all of them can connect. Yeah, maybe I. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Obviously, we want to max out these because we have frontline base. But now I'm kind of like, well, maybe we do play more X-Head Cannon. Maybe we cut a Z-Metal tank, or maybe we just go up to 20 monsters. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, apart from that, we're playing Snatch Steel. We're not playing any Brain Cons, which is unfortunate because I thought that card was great last time, but we're not playing any. We're playing full Trinity this time. We're not messing around. Delinquent Duos, a fine card. Because we have all of these other life point paying cards that specifically have us, paying 1,000 life points is fine. We don't care about that. We don't care about that. 3 limiter removal, 2 knocks because we want to get them out of the way. 1 heavy storm, 1 MST. Petty playing MST. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm growing as a person. We're playing MST. Obviously, it's just really good. It's really good chainable back row. I usually don't like it in a lot of different decks, but I think this deck it's effectively an OTK strategy, right? And so we want to get the back row dead. 2 returns, 1 ring, 1 torrential, which I think is just strictly better than the Mirror Force that we have in the side. Maybe. 3 Solemn Judgment. 3 Psalms because we don't care about having our life points. We just don't care. But what we do care about is winning. Yeah, so apart from that, I have it this side. I told you guys that it's not great. It is what it is. Dust Shoots are good. This against the aggro matchup. I think Soul Exchange has some real potential, perhaps even to come into the main, I think. It's great with Return for the Different Dimension, and it can do double duty. It can do double duty in banishing the opponent's monsters, and so I think it's great. 2 Scapegoat. Scapegoat has great synergy with Cannon Soldier and this meta package we have. Now that I'm seeing the meta package, though, we totally Fusilier, right? Fusilier? I don't know. There's so much different ways we can go about this. Like, I've been thinking about like Fusilier Skill Drain, right? Fusilier Skill Drain. I've been thinking about deck devastation virus, because let's say we use limiter removal on a Dekoichi, and then Dekoichi's going to die in the end phase, right? So we just deck devi it. The sphere's not big enough. let me just, all right. There's a downside to the orb, and the orb's downside is that it's not large enough. But it is for Cannon Soldier, it is for Dekoichi, it would be for Fusilier, it would be for a ton of different monsters. And so there's just so many different ways we can go, and this deck will definitely evolve. As I said, I'm already thinking about the different ways it can go. Cypher Soldier, really good. Anti-Warrior, it's also a machine. And we got Ashura Priest for Anti-Goats. It's also a light, and so we don't hate that. And so this is what I did, guys. This is what I did. I was hoping that I would have more time between the end of last season and the beginning of this next one, but I want to keep the momentum going. I don't want to stop. I'm having a great time with you guys on the YouTubes. We're super close to 200 subs, which I think is just super fun. I'm glad that you guys are all connecting. I have done literally like no outreach. Other people have come to me like I'm gonna collab with my boy Cub a couple times, and I'm having fun with that. But it feels really fun to just be in this community and put out these videos with like no real expectations of anything. Just like, just have a whole bunch of fun, make some weird Gillosaurus stuff, make some new friends. You guys notice the screen's changed a little bit. It's a little bit scuffed. We might make it prettier later on, but we're just going in. So that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you guys immediately click on to episode 1, which will be uploaded at the same time as this one. So we're just hopping in and we're gonna get destroyed. So see ya.